from SciDevNet, I'm Ogechi Ekeanyao. In this episode, we spotlight a remarkable collaboration between the University of Zambia and the Hokkaido University in Japan. Together, they've developed a new rapid diagnostic kit with the potential to change the way Ebola virus is managed in the African region. Between 2014 and 2016, there was an outbreak of Ebola in West Africa. First dictated in Guinea, it quickly spread to the neighboring countries of Sierra Leone and Liberia and reached other countries, including those on the European and American continents. Over the course of the outbreak, the World Health Organization reported that more than 28,000 people were infected and over 11,000 people died. To understand the significance of this innovation, let's first take a brief journey into the history of the Ebola virus. Ebola, a highly contagious and often deadly virus, has been a persistent threat to countries in Africa. Outbreaks dating back to the virus's discovery near the Ebola River in Democratic Republic of Congo in 1976 have posed serious health challenges. Ebola is a form of hemorrhagic fever. It causes flu-like symptoms including fever, fatigue, and muscle pains. These are followed by vomiting, diarrhea, rash, and internal and external bleeding. According to the World Health Organization and the African Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, the Ebola virus has been responsible for devastating outbreaks, causing significant loss of life and economic disruption. One of the critical factors in managing Ebola outbreaks is early and accurate diagnosis. In past outbreaks, timely identification of cases proved challenging and led to increased transmission and difficulty in containing the virus. According to the World Health Organization, during the West African Ebola outbreak in 2014, delayed diagnosis contributed to the rapid spread of the virus across multiple countries. The collaboration between researchers at the University of Zambia and the School of Veterinary Medicine and their counterparts at the Center for Zoonosis Control, Hokkaido University, Japan, has seen the development of a new tool for testing Ebola virus known as QuickNavi. This test is deliberately simple to use and can test for Ebola in as little as 10 minutes. Dr. Katendi Changula spearheaded the creation of this kit. She's a senior lecturer and researcher at the Department of Paraclinical Studies, School of Veterinary Medicine at the University of Zambia. She spoke to us about why quick and accessible tests like this are so important.
One of the things that had been happening in the majority of Ebola virus outbreaks is that months would go by before it is actually diagnosed as Ebola, because one thing that you need to know is that Ebola comes with symptoms of normal tropical diseases like malaria-like symptoms, yellow fever-like symptoms. So these are diseases that are found in within Africa. So people would be treated for these other diseases without them knowing that it's actually Ebola. So what this kit does is it helps to reduce the time between the initial outbreak or the first person and the confirmation to say this is actually Ebola. And because of that, it actually reduces the number of people who get into touch with that person and then the number of people who then subsequently get infected. So basically, it limits the outbreak. And that is the biggest thing that we want to take away from with this test, is that we need to limit the outbreaks. And limiting outbreaks means early detection. Early detection means that simple test that is rapid and easily deployable in the field, easily used in the field. And that is what this test is.
QuickNavi promises faster and more accurate results and could be a potential game changer in managing outbreaks of Ebola virus disease. So how was this kit developed? Dr. Katendi tells us.
This idea started in 2010. I conceived this idea, and then together with our colleagues from the Hokkaido University, then I was able to put the idea into fruition. In 2010, I got a scholarship for PhD on the organization called SACIDS that was funded by the Wellcome Trust. And in that, there were several themes under that program. And then I chose the theme of development of tests for filoviruses. So then I had a mentor who is Professor Justin Masumo from UPN University in Kinshasa, DRC. And he suggested that we make a rapid test for filovirus diagnosis. So when I say filovirus, that's the family that the Ebola virus belongs to, Marburg virus belongs to.
Dr. Joseph Ndebe works at the School of Veterinary Services in the Disease Control Department at the University of Zambia. He sheds light on some of the challenges with the rapid diagnostic kit when deployed in the Democratic Republic of Congo.
Anybody can, of course, the kit is easy. You can use it within 10 minutes. It's user-friendly and things like that. But because of the nature of the virus that is able to detect, we need skilled personnel. That's one limitation. Then two, you can't buy this kit and take it at your place. In case there's a problem there, then you do it yourself. Because of the nature of the virus, you may be just able to spread the virus to other people. So that's the reason. Those are some of the limitations that are there. Because despite this kit being user-friendly, you can only use it in controlled environment, which in this case is hospitals and things like that.
Professor Ayato Takada is in the Division of Global Epidemiology at the International Institute for Zoonosis Control, Hokkaido University in Japan. He was part of the Japanese team that helped develop the kit. He talked to us about how the kits were developed.
Our antigen detection kit does not require the electricity and does not require any particular specific equipment. And that kit is very stable, and it can be stored ideally in the refrigerator, and for that can be used at least 1 or 2 years in the fridge. And if we think about the situation of the Ebola outbreaks, it occurs in the remote area, but usually that doesn't have any advanced laboratory. So in that kind of area, the clinical person, and my doctor or nurse, anyway, they can just collect blood and then drop one drop onto the kit, and then they can diagnose. And I think that is that is one of the advantage of our kit, that is an antigen detection kit. So that is very friendly to African situation, I think.
Another limitation of the Quick Navi detection kit is that it cannot detect the Sudan Ebola virus. Professor Ayato tells us why this is so.
In that member of Ebola virus, there are some different viruses. The Ebola virus, that is a prototype of that in that member, that is basically, they produce they produce the outbreaks many times in the past. Ebola virus, the prototype. So we call that previously Zaire Ebola virus. But in that Ebola virus group, there are some other viruses: Sudan virus, Bundibujo virus, Typhorus virus, and Risson virus. All these are known to cause hemorrhagic fever in humans or in human primates. And these viruses are actually very different. We call that antigenically different. That means that some antibodies to Ebola virus cannot react to Sudan virus. So in that kit, we used some antibodies that is specific to Ebola virus and Bundibujo virus and the Typhorus virus, but not Sudan. So we have to change the antibodies used in the kit to detect Sudan virus. But already we produced such kit, and we can produce the kit. But they recently used the Quick Navi, the prototype, the first one is Ebola, Ebola, the Bundibujo, the Ivory, the Typhorus specific. So we have to we have to improve the kit to detect all these viruses. Actually, it was already done, but it's it's just the test stage. The previous one, prototype, has been approved by Japanese government already, but the second improved one has to be tested in clinical setting.